from the Department of Economy and Tourism of the City of Antwerp, and I'll be guiding you through today's session. It's really great to see so many of you joining us online. Thank you for taking the time. Let me start with a couple of practical notes before we dive in. We are using Microsoft Teams today. This session will last about 45 minutes and we'll make sure to finish by 12 o'clock. We scheduled around half an hour for the presentations, and then we'll move into a Q&A session where you can share your questions. You'll see two buttons on your screen, one for chat and one for Q&A. Please use the chat only for your technical issues. Our team will help you right away. For your content questions, please use the Q&A button. We'll collect them and go through as many as we can after the presentations. And one more thing, the webinar is recorded, so you'll be able to rewatch it later on. The presentation slides will also be shared with all participants after the session. Before we move on to our speakers, just a quick word about today's goal. The webinar is part of our broader effort to connect and inform companies active in health and life sciences about the opportunities that Antwerp offers, both as a place to innovate and as a base to grow internationally. Our aim today is simple: to give you insight, inspiration, and a few practical takeaways that might support your next steps. And with that, I'm delighted to introduce the fantastic speakers who will be joining us today. Xingfu Ao, that's our project manager health at the City of Antwerp. She'll give you a clear picture of why Antwerp is the ideal location for health companies. Christine de Bruyne from Flyo, the Flanders Innovation and Entrepreneurship Agency, who'll tell you more about the support and incentives available for innovative companies. And finally, Alejandra Ortega, CEO of Specifics, who'll share her company story and experience of growing in Antwerp. Together, they'll give you insights into the ecosystem, concrete support tools that are out there for you, and a real-life success story. If you'd like to get in touch with one of today's speakers, you'll find their contact details at the end of each presentation. So once again, thank you for being with us today. I'm very much looking forward to this session and to your questions afterwards. Before we move on to Xingfu, for our first presentation, I'd like to share with you a short video. It will give you a flavor of what Antwerp stands for: a vibrant international city that combines innovation, talent, connectivity, and quality of life. This is the backdrop against which companies like yours can thrive. Let's take a look.
All right, thank you, Anne. Thank you all for attending this webinar. First of all, I would like to say that this presentation is made in collaboration with the POM, Province of Antwerp. My name is Ching Fu, and I'm Project Manager for Digital Health Innovations at the City of Antwerp, and I'd like to introduce you to our Antwerp Health ecosystem. Antwerp has evolved into a true health hotspot, attracting companies from across sectors. The place to be for your health and life science company. Geographically, Antwerp is perfectly located in the center of Europe. With one of the world's largest ports, it's a gateway to global markets. As Antwerp, we are building the port city of the future, smart, sustainable, and healthy. Our priorities align with the six key UN Sustainable Development Goals, where innovation is the common driver, with SDG 17 partnership at the core, bringing together the city, port, university, and other stakeholders under one shared vision. Antwerp has grown into an international hub through the unique synergy of the Quadriloop Helix model, 4 key players working together in one ecosystem: the government, academia, business, society. This collaboration makes Antwerp a strong international innovation hub. Here you can see a mapping of various organizations and companies in our ecosystem. In Antwerp, we've been able to develop a valuable health ecosystem with companies, healthcare providers, accelerators, and support organizations across the entire value chain. We have entrepreneurs, researchers, investors finding fertile ground here. In Antwerp, we support innovation every step of the way, from ideation to industrialization. It begins with fundamental research at institutes such as University of Antwerp or VITO. Testing then takes place at facilities such as USA, the University Hospital, HES or Vaccinopolis. And if you're building an early stage company, you can accelerate through IMEC iStart. And when it's time to scale, Science Park and Bluegate provide the space and infrastructure to grow. And this way, Antwerp offers a complete ecosystem to bring ideas from lab all the way to the market. Antwerp is home to over 770 startups in health. This vibrant ecosystem fosters innovations and collaborations. In just 5 years, Antwerp's health startups grew by 232%, now worth 950 million. That's 58 high potential companies. Health is the most funded sector in Antwerp, with 479 million raised in 2020 and 2024, especially in biotech, pharma, and medtech. Large investments in biotech and pharma demonstrates that the sector is growing and attractive to companies, researchers, and investors. International companies and scientific institutions can benefit from the strong innovation ecosystem. Here you can see a top list of Antwerp Health investors based on total participation in deals. 28 active investors are fueling this growth, and their experience in health is key to scaling startups in this capital-intensive sector. And this is a top list of companies in the healthcare sector by value, based on figures from the deal room. Startups like Minsa Health, Helper, Biteflies are leading the way with innovative solutions and with strong growth potentials. On the right side, we have listed some promising startups. They are distinguished by their innovative solutions and strong growth potentials, and could also have a significant impact on the healthcare, both locally and internationally. So why is Antwerp a health hotspot? I would like to bring you 6 exceptional assets of Antwerp. Let's begin with Antwerp's first major assets, its specialized knowledge and infrastructure. This is the foundation of our health ecosystem. Antwerp has the largest healthcare network in Belgium and over 1,600 researchers in medical and health sciences. Belgium ranks second in Europe for pharma and biotech patent application per capita and is leader in phase 1 clinical trials. Vaccinopolis is a 40 million investment and a state-of-the-art facilities for pandemic control. It's a collaboration between different partners and it accelerates vaccine development through preclinical trials in real-time environments. Then we have the Institute of Tropical Medicine, globally renowned for its research and care in tropical and infectious diseases, with 27 clinical trials and over 300 scientific publications. It strengthens Antwerp's global position in healthcare. The University Hospital of Antwerp has one of its kind and hosts Belgium's only high-level isolation unit. Here, patients with highly contagious infections like Ebola or monkeypox can be treated in full isolation. This ensures the highest level of care while keeping staff, patients, and the environment completely safe. Dundon is a physical innovation hub supported by the city. It focused on healthcare and social impact. And we have startups such as Bingley, ICE, Mensa Health Specifics, Immunwatch, Evax, and many more. In Antwerp province, the Science Park is a hub for innovation, research-driven companies in collaboration with the university. This dynamic campus is set in a green environment and is designed to inspire and support growth from startups to multinationals and offering an ideal condition for innovation and success. Then we come to the second key asset, the deep expertise in emerging health domains, such as ATMPs, microbiome research, and radioligand therapy. Antwerp is a hub for advanced therapy medicinal products. 25% of Belgium's ATMP trials are conducted here, and the University Hospital, was the first in Belgium to treat patients with locally CAR T cells, reducing cost and treatment time. The University of Antwerp leads in microbiome research. The biotherapy develops sustainable and effective solutions for common skin diseases. And instead of killing these bacteria, they are adding the beneficial ones. They were one of the first to deliver stable live bacteria in creams and sprays with clinical proven results. The third asset of Antwerp is a strong presence of renowned pharma and biotech companies. Here are some figures to support this. The pharma sector in Antwerp generates over 5.2 million in added value in the province of Antwerp, and we employ more than 12,000 people. It's the fifth largest sector in the region. Major players like Sanofi, Organon, Agfa, Kela are based in province of Antwerp. The region ranks second globally for biopharma exports and therefore highlights its international relevance. The fourth asset is our talent pool. Antwerp offers a wide range of specialized training programs across universities, colleges, and technical schools. Flanders ranked fifth in workforce productivity, and in 2023, over 2,800 students graduated in health-related fields. Vtalent offers job stimulation training, and the University of Antwerp leads in biomedical education. Our academic institutions have produced successful spin-offs like Innocence, NSL, Immunwatch, and Orbits, and each contribute to innovation in diagnostics, AI, and cell therapy. Antwerp is home to influential experts, key opinion leaders in healthcare, like Pierre van Damme, Herman Goossens, Erika Vliegen, Paul Stoffels, or Michael Sels. Their leadership inspires innovations and attracts global attentions as well. Our fifth asset is the high density of healthcare providers, which makes this region an ideal testing ground for health innovations. Antwerp has one of Europe's largest hospital network with 3,300 beds and 28 campuses, and the city diversity with 175 nationalities makes it ideal for inclusive clinical trials. Here are some examples of clinical studies, study expertise and valorization in healthcare, and user at home. I just want to take out one example, is the University Hospital's home care service that delivers hospital level treatments and monitoring the patients safely in their homes. And this really serves as an example of how innovative care models can contribute to more efficient healthcare, relieving pressure on hospitals and make care more personalized. A last initiative from a region I would like to elaborate on shortly is Antwerp Health Harbor. This new initiative is a collaboration with various key healthcare providers and public institutions in the region to strengthen Antwerp as an innovative healthcare cluster. This is a first step towards further developing a unique ecosystem in the health sector by leveraging more our network, knowledge, data, and tackle societal health challenges. The last sixth final asset is Antwerp specialized port and logistics in health. Antwerp is the first port globally to operate under full GDP standards, ensuring cold chain integrity. Combined with Brussels Airport's CEIV pharma certification, we offer unmatched logistics for pharma distributions. At last, I would like to inform you also how we as the city can support you. Our team consists of dedicated account managers who assist companies with business matchmaking and connect you with our Antwerp innovation ecosystem and hubs. The city offers talent, location, and financial support, and we work closely with regional and national partners to make this possible. One of these key partners is Flyo, and Christine, the next speaker, will also share more about how they support innovative companies. So with this last slide, I would like to end my presentation. We invite you to be part of this journey and shape the future of healthcare tomorrow. Thank you, and I would like to give the floor to Christine now.
Thank you for the introduction, Ching-Fu. So good morning, everyone. I'm Christine de Bruyne. I'm business advisor at Flyo Team Bedrijfstrajecten, and I focus mainly on health and care innovations. And today they asked me to give me a short overview on how we can support you and the different types of funding that we provide. So we are part of the front office of Flyo, so the Flemish Agency of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And our role is to guide innovative and ambitious companies that want to grow in Flanders. By innovative, we mean enterprises that push the boundaries of what is possible today, maybe not only within their own business, but can also be on a more global scale. So these companies are building the next generation of products and services and are pioneering from within Flanders. So what can we do for you? Our support focuses mainly on the preparation phase of your innovation. So as a base, we take where you stand today and where you want to be. And then we check what needs to be done and how can you make it sustainable also on the long term. So in order to do that, we provide three services. The first one is we act as a sounding board. So we give feedback on your ideas. We not only give supportive advice, but we also point out some potential hurdles that allows you to prepare better and improve your plans. We also provide, in some cases, some first-line advice on intellectual property. And then secondly, we connect you with the ecosystem. As you heard from Qingfu, there is a strong ecosystem within Antwerp. And from there, we also point you out to the larger ecosystem and innovation landscape within Flanders. So if we see synergies with research institutes or other partners, we bring you together. It'll give you insight into ongoing research and helps you improve your plans, accelerate them, and you can start collaborations, whether it's on the short or on the long term. And then finally, we guide you on non-dilutive funding. So if you have the right expertise in-house and you have a clear view on your financial needs, then we screen your plans for the subsidies opportunities. We help shape your subsidy application and anticipate possible issues during the evaluation. Once it's submitted, we can't interfere anymore, but we make sure you are well prepared to go into the evaluation cycle. Our focus is mainly on the VLAIO subsidies, but we also provide broader advice on EU funding and other financing approaches. So we have, for example, our FinMix panels, where top financial experts give you feedback on your financial plans before you approach your investors. So in short, we help accelerate your plan and increase your chance of success by listening to your plans, by connecting you with the ecosystem, and by helping you on filing the application. Of course, we expect from Flanders, for Flanders, a return by stronger companies, more jobs, and as such a sustainable society. So as I mentioned earlier, when we talk about innovation, we don't only talk about the new product, services, processes. When we review your plans, we always look at them through the lens of subsidies. Under what conditions can it be funded? Where are the innovation spots? And what new knowledge is built up along the way? So an example of an ambitious company with an eligible innovation is Specifics, but I'll leave the floor to Alejandra to talk about that later on. So let me first dive into the criteria when applying for innovation subsidies. So first of all, your project must involve something new in the way it is developed. So the risks need to be clear. You need to explicitly state what's your starting point, what hurdles, what challenges do you need to overcome within the project, and what are your first outcomes in terms of deliverables and criteria that you expect in order to move further with in the future. Standard engineering tasks in general are not supported. We don't only look at the project side, we also look at the business side. How will you be able to move forward once the innovation has been realized? How will you position yourself in the competitive landscape on the short and the long term? And where will the innovation that you're applying funding for will actually make a difference in the market? Will it help you gaining a broader market share, or will it help you going to other markets? And is it helping you in building a sustainable business? And also, what's the economic impact for Flanders? Because currently we expect at least a tenfold return on the subsidy. And the impact we take into account is impact that comes from job creation or from key investments that anchor the company within Flanders. And then finally, VLAIO only funds a part of the total budget, so you also need to have a clear view on how you're going to arrange the co-financing. Here you see an overview of the different subsidies available for innovation. Specifics, for example, made use of the feasibility study and the development project, but as you can see, there are many more options available. As a business advisor, we work with you to determine what best fits your plan and what phase is your company in, what phase is your innovation in, and how does it map to the criteria of the different available innovation subsidies. So here you see actually 3 categories of innovation subsidies. So the first one are the subsidies for starters, so companies from establishment up to 5 years. So we have the Innovative Starter Support and the Scale Clash. It's for pioneering companies, And the goal is to accelerate them and give them a first experience with the support from Vlaio. And then the second group is open for all companies, whether it's a startup, an SME, or a large enterprise. Filing can be done so the subsidies can be applied for by an individual company or in collaboration with other partners. It's up to what's necessary for the innovation. What is covered in terms of cost? The wages of the internal staff are covered, the overheads, the direct project expenses, subcontractors, cost of research organizations, and sometimes even intellectual property. The funding levels, they vary between 25 and 80%. It's a large scale, but it depends on the size of the company, the level of the risk, and the degree of collaboration. Small enterprises typically get a plus percentage of 20%. Middle-sized organizations get 10%. And finally, there are the subsidies that focus on strengthening the collaboration with universities. So we have the Bakeland mandate and the innovation mandate, which allows a person to do his doctorate or his postdoc in close collaboration with industry. And this industry will take on the role of industrial mentor, whereas the academic will take the role of the academic excellence of the research. And then we also have some collaborations that go across borders, so that strengthens collaboration between a Flemish region and then, for instance, the Netherlands or France or Germany. And then we have the collaborative project within the research institutes. Since you subscribe to this webinar, I assume you already have an interest in innovation. So if your plans are concrete and you want to move forward soon, its best step is to get in touch with us. But if your project still needs to take shape and you're looking for inspiration, then these are some initiatives that can give you a good starting point. One of these is the Blik Opener. The Blik Opener offers tailored advice from universities of applied sciences. They listen to your plans and they provide first insights from the research that they have done. They can provide advice up to a time effort of about 4 hours. But it's a good way for both sides to get to know each other and see if a future collaboration can make sense on the mid or longer term. Then we have the Tetra and the Cook projects. Those projects are applied for by the Knowledge Institutes, but as an industry partner, you are part of the guidance of the universities, and you see the results firsthand that they are gaining. Another tool is a research portal. The research portal gives you an overview of all research that's happening at Flemish University. It gives a direct link to the relevant research groups. You can also see who are the researchers, and sometimes you can also reuse some of the data that's collected during closed projects. So if you're new to innovation, the best step is to connect. So explore the network, take part in some matchmaking events, and use the tools. They give you a solid starting point to build your innovation journey. So as I mentioned earlier, innovation subsidies are not the only type of support Vlaio provides. So we have our subsidy database, only available in Dutch. It brings together all types of support and funding. It's also a handy tool to see what fits your needs at this point in time. And to wrap up, if you're an ambitious entrepreneur with innovation plans and you have the expertise, a solid business model, a clear value proposition based on that innovation, and a good view on the financing, then make sure to talk to us early on so we can check whether your project is eligible. At the moment, budgets are still sufficient to support a project that meets the criteria. So it's not that you are in competition with other projects. No, projects that meet the criteria get granted. So if your plan still needs more preparation, it can be valuable to have a first conversation with us. Then I can guide you to our network and see what possible next steps could be. And then our Vlaio partners can help you bring together all the necessary elements to build up a solid plan. So how do you get in touch with us? I've pasted here the web page of Vlaio. If you're a foreign company, it is best to take contact with my colleagues of Foreign Direct Investment team. They provide a broad range of information to your company. And if it's about innovation, they will refer to me. If you're already established in Flanders, you can directly, through filtering, choose one of the persons where you want to be in contact with, or you just choose make an appointment, and then you get automatically a contact with one of the advisors that has the right expertise, is located near to you, and is available on short-term notice. So if you'd like to stay in touch, you can follow us on social media. If you'd like to know more, please feel free to reach out to me directly. And then I'm happy to hand over to Alejandra from Specifics, who will share her journey as an innovative entrepreneur in Flanders. So Alejandra, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Christine. Hi, everyone. I will give a bit of a practical example of what has been presented so far. I am the CEO of Specifics, a preparative planning software for patient-specific fracture fixation. Specifics was born from the idea, from the desire of Professor Matthias Van Ness to treat his patients the best possible way. He is a hand surgeon at the University Hospital of Antwerp in AZ Monica, which was the first hospital in Belgium to have a 3D printing lab in-house. And they were very used to using 3D technologies for elective surgery, so for surgeries that can wait a few weeks to be treated. But he saw the need and the relevance of using it for fractures as well, but none of the available softwares in the market allowed it to do it in short time. That's why he partnered with Vision Lab, a lab of the University of Antwerp and IMEC, to research the feasibility of having this software fully automatic. And that's where everything began. So why is this so important? Because every patient anatomy is different and every fracture pattern is different. On top of it, every implant manufacturer also offers different sizes and shapes of plates, which the surgeons use to put the pieces of bone back together. So there are too many degrees of freedom, and the surgeons don't always know which is the best implant to use for the patient they have in front of them. This means that 1 out of 4 patients have complications after surgery. And if we have into account that this fracture is the most common fracture in the human body and happens mostly to older women falling from standing height or younger males due to risky activities, is a fracture that has a very high socioeconomic impact. So it's very important to treat it well at the first time. So what do we do? So typically when the patient goes to the emergency room, they get a CT scan that the surgeon has to start to think mentally which is the best implant to use, what screws to use, but they come in these sterile closed sets. So for the surgeon, it's very difficult to open different sets to try new plates to see which one fits best, check under fluoroscopy and correct. The softwares that are available in the market allow surgeons to get to this. This is a drill guide, but it requires about 1 day of manual work to get to such a thing. And of course, that makes it expensive and time consuming. That's why we have developed a fully automatic preparative planning software. It's a platform where the surgeon just needs to upload the CT scan of the patient, and thanks to our AI-based segmentation, we can differentiate the soft tissue from the bone. But what is very innovative is to be able to differentiate each fracture fragment. So each color here means a small piece of bone that is that can be relocated to the correct anatomical location. This is what we call the reduction. So to try to figure out what is the healthy shape of this broken bone, and thanks to this, we can test which is the implant that the surgeon has at the hospital that best fits this patient. So what fits best the anatomy, and also what fits best the fracture fixation. So obviously we are not surgeons here, but we can see that these screws are way too long, but the surgeon can, just for visualization purposes, the surgeon can put some transparency to see what is the direction of the screws, and we also provide the exact screw length. So this means for the surgeon, this translates into hardware pre-selection, easy hardware traceability, because everything that is put in the patient has to be able to, they have to know what goes in what. Higher precision, higher confidence for the surgeon, less radiation for everyone in the room. And all of this means about 20 minutes saved during surgery, which we know is the most expensive rooms in the hospitals. It can also be used to train younger surgeons. And of course, what we ultimately want is the better fracture fixation, that the patient recover faster and better. So who are we? I mentioned Professor Matthias Vaness. Our CTO is Dr. Soha Magdic. She is a doctor in artificial intelligence, and she has expertise in medical applications. Myself, I am a doctor in biomedical engineering. I have always worked with medical imaging, and before joining the company, I was working at Agfa Gebhard in the industry of medical devices. We also have two very bright researchers in the team, and our board member is an expert in SaaS, so he helps us with the path to commercialization. We're still collaborating with Vision Lab, and I'll talk a bit more later on. So a bit of our history. So as I mentioned, it initiated as a proof of concept between the University of Antwerp, the University Hospital of Antwerp, and AZ Monica. Of course, as you saw, our team is a very strong technical and clinical team, but we lack a bit the business part. So thanks to the University of Antwerp, we could do a deep dive into business, which helped us in the Antwerp Management School, which helped us to draft the business plan, the financial plan, and to do the market research. We saw the potential for the spin-off, so we spin off in January 2023, and that's where the city came in the picture. They helped us to obtain professional card for our co-founder. She is originally from Iran, so to be able to be a part of the management of the company, she needed to change her visa status from researcher to management, and the city provided very good support on that. And thanks to being able to figure out her legal status, we could then apply for the IMEC iStart Accelerator program, which of course gave us the first money together with Blue Health Innovation Fund, which we then used as a co-founding to apply for the development project, as Christine mentioned, at Vlion. So, of course, the part of the technology was already tested at lab level on is it feasible, yes or no, but we still had to do the full development of the software, and that's what we have been working on. And it has come to a level that is more mature, and we already have a prototype which we will start to test in hospitals. And as we are getting some initial feedback, we already want to test some new things that we think, okay, this could potentially improve the software as it is today, but it's too risky to do it, to include it now in the pipeline of the development project. So that's also why we applied for the feasibility project to test the idea, does this work or not? We just want to have a first feeling of, is this useful to explore further or not? And that's why we applied for the feasibility project. So we have been very lucky in the support we have received from the Flemish government with the development, with the feasibility project. We also applied for an innovation mandate because, of course, we want to expand the software to other joint So from the hand, we want to go to the shoulder, but as you can imagine, it's a complete different dynamics. The anatomy is very different. The load is very different. So we are applying for a research project together with Vision Lab again to expand to the shoulder. We also applied for a starter package from the Flanders Investment and Trade to already test the possibility to expand our commercial activities to the Netherlands and some neighboring countries. Other financial instruments we have used is what Christine mentioned, the FinMix, which helped us to better shape our business plan and financial plan for investors, and the Blick Opener for the usability test with the early users. Why being in Antwerp has been so successful for us? Of course, as Xing mentioned, is the strategic location. So we can talk easily, we can drive easily to the Netherlands, to Germany, to France, to UK. Is of course very well connected. Also, the network in the city is really important. So we have a co-working space at the Dunden, where just going to the coffee machine, you talk to the most advanced companies in healthcare in the city. You can ask questions. They can do warm introductions for you. They can they walk the path already. So they really like to help. There is a big talent pool, not only from the Antwerp University, but from a bit broader as well. I have had interviews where the people tell me, yeah, I want to move to Antwerp because we know it's a very vibrant city, because it's very international, it's very open. So it also attracts people from other places. The expertise, of course, the research institutions, the hospitals, the surgeons, is as I just mentioned as well, is really, because I'm a foreigner myself, I can tell that it's really a very diverse, international, business-friendly, open city, which makes it very easy to start a business, and is big enough. It's not a small town, but it's also not that big that you get lost in it. So it's a perfect size city as well. So this is my my experience in Antwerp, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
So thank you very much, Alejandra, for sharing your inspiring story with us. And of course, also to Xingfu and Christine for their valuable insights. I think it's clear that Antwerp has a lot to offer, from the strong ecosystem and innovation hubs to the practical support available for companies that want to grow here. That brings us to the next part of our program, the Q&A session. Let me kick off with the first question based on the presentation we just heard. So, Alejandra, your company has grown right here in Antwerp's health ecosystem. Looking back, what kind of local support for or partnerships helped you the most in developing and scaling specifics?
Yeah, another partner that helped us a lot, and I briefly mentioned, of course, besides Vlaio and the city, has been IMEC iStart, because also coming from academia or from industry, we were not really well acquainted with the entrepreneurship world in Belgium, and they have really a lot of workshops. They really support us. Still, for healthcare startups, the program is 1.5 years, and now we are over 2 years, and they still support us daily. Any question, any warm introduction. Is a very well-renowned accelerator program, so it also gives you quality stamp, so people know that if you are part of the program is because you have something promising. So this has also been a partner that has been very crucial in our journey so far.
Okay, thank you very much. I've got another question for Christine from Vlaio. So what is the best first step for a health or a medtech company that want to apply for an innovation support from Flyo? Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah, if they want to apply for funding at Flyo, it's probably best if they take contact with us in an early phase. As such, we can see whether you're eligible, what the project would actually consist out of, and if you are taking up all activities that can be supported, or if there are parts that you want to take into the project that are not eligible for funding. So I would say don't wait to contact us. We are there. We are an open door. So the sooner we connect, the more we can help you along the way.
Okay. I see another question popping up for you, Christine. Does Flyo support medical device projects working towards CE certification or such certification activities considered outside the scope of eligible funding?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a question we often get because the regulation part requires quite some funding. It's cash burning. We provide funding up to the part where there is still innovation. So up to the part where you're actually improving your initial prototype. So from the moment you freeze the design and you go in full regulation, we don't support it anymore, except for starters, so companies that are younger than 5 years. There we had the last 2 years a call that's called Schaalklaar. And there you could put in more of the activities that are towards the market. So from once the innovation has taken shape up to the point where the innovation is put into the market. So the question is, what would be the full plan? So if it's solely certification, probably not. If you go further and give a full plan of how you see the go-to-market, if next year there is another call of Schaalklaar and you're younger than 5 years old and you are eligible, like in the number of FTEs, etc., then I would certainly apply for that one. I hope this is sufficient. Yeah.
I think that's quite clear. Thank you. Xingfu, we have a question for you. You mentioned how Antwerp brings together university, hospitals, startups, and established companies in one ecosystem. From your experience, what do you think makes collaboration work so well here? What is a real success factor behind this ecosystem?
Yeah, I think Alejandra also already mentioned we are a small city, but in world-class, a very big world-class city, but in a pocket size. So we have institutes, hospitals, and companies which are big enough, but we are still compact enough, small enough to know each other and trust each other. So it's ideal if you want to move your idea from a pilot to a real a company, or to make sure your project is moving forward. So I think we are kind of very pragmatic, and we have an open culture, so it makes it easier to reach us, to be in contact with us, and I think everyone is willing to collaborate. Industries and hospitals are eager to test innovations, and we are here to connect. Therefore, I think that makes it a success factor in our city. I hope that gives you an answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Xingfu. I don't really see new questions right away, but no worries. We'll make sure to follow up afterwards. If there are no more questions popping up, then I would like to thank once again our speakers, Xingfu, Christine, and Alejandra. If today's webinar sparked your interest, and if you like to explore how your company could grow in Antwerp, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our team is here to support you with location guidance, permits, and connections into our innovation system. If you would like to get in touch with one of today's speakers, you will find their contact details on the presentation slides. So please feel free to reach out to them directly with any follow-up questions. On behalf of the city, thank you so much for joining us today. Before we close, we would like to ask you one small favor. On the next slide, you'll see a QR code. That's a short feedback form. It only takes a minute to fill in, and your feedback really helps us to make our next sessions even better. We'd really appreciate it if you could take that moment before you log off. So have a great day, everyone, and thank you.